What's happening, YouTube? You know, we had to go get the heavy hitters again. Every Friday night, me and Larry got to go find some more Avengers to help get these life gains and these current coaches.
Yes.
We've got our big homie, Brandon, from Just My Opinion Reviews. Brandon, how you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling pretty good, my brother. Feeling pretty good. Thank you very much for having me. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Larry. And Larry, Lamont, I'm sorry. Congratulations on your newborn too. I'm very happy for you, my brother.
I appreciate that, man. Y'all just had to bear with me with the eyes sagging, the slurred speech. I haven't done no drugs, I promise. I just ain't had no sleep. That little girl loved to stay up at night watching Avengers already. You can tell she
yes.
Yeah, you can tell she got my DNA in her.
That is a win. That
exactly.
Is a win right there.
Yeah. Now y'all be sure to subscribe to Brandon's channel.
Put her in front of Killmonger and watch her just go crazy. Put her in front of Killmonger and watch her just go, Hercules, Hercules. She's gonna love it.
I was wondering if you was gonna mention it too, but
she's gonna raise her fist and say, "The true leader of Wakanda." Man. That's gonna be her first words out of her mouth. Is gonna be Killmonger.
Yes,
Larry. That little girl gonna never ever meet your ass. I can tell you that right now. If Killmonger is still your liberator, she's never gonna meet you. You would never see her in person till you get off this Killmonger being the liberator of the whole entire world.
She's already met me. We're here. We're here.
I need to go ahead and get a T-shirt. I keep putting it off. You know, I need a Killmonger T-shirt.
Oh yeah.
Now I am in support of that. I can't lie about that.
I have the Killmonger hoodie, the one that Michael B. Jordan was wearing, the one with the Africa on the front and Killmonger on the back.
Right.
But it's a little too hot for a hoodie right now. So
yeah, man, it's too blazing out here. Yeah. So what's up, everybody? You already know me and Larry. Be sure to subscribe to Brandon's channel. Brother puts out great content. He's one of our favorite professional black film critics. Y'all seen we had E-Man last week. This week we got B. Avery. And guess who's coming to our stage on Monday, Larry?
Oh, man. Tell me somebody good like me.
I mean, you're going to be there anyway, man. You're going to be there. But
who's coming through?
The other outstanding film critic that is black, our girl over at Paraweight, Sharonda, is going to be here to review The Shy and to review P-Valley with us, and she's got some hot takes she's going to drop on the fellas.
P-Valley finally decided to deliver on the titties.
Oh,
man, I need to watch the show. I told him I'm starting to watch it right after this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna renew my subscription. It's going down.
Hey, man. I mean, the last episode really was better than the first episode. And I was reading their ratings, and the ratings fell off in the second episode, even though it was a better one, probably because people thought it was going to be more like the first episode. So, Larry, I got to give it to you on that one. You called that one.
Yeah.
They should have dropped that second episode first, but it's still a good show. So
it is a good show.
I kind of got the vibe. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I said I kind of got the vibe of like the Players Club. Is that kind of what it is, or am I completely off?
It's got sort of a Players Club-ish vibe where you have a strip club, all the girls working all those dynamics. You have the new girl that comes in. It's the new light-skinned pretty girl, pretty girl, they say. So it has a lot of Player Club-ish type of vibe to it in that sense.
Yeah, cool. but a little bit of a spin on the story. I mean, if you remember the character Dollar Bill from Players Club, the person running this club is nothing physically like Dollar Bill, but does have some dirty business dealings. So you can relate in that way. And you do kind of have the dynamic of the seasoned stripper who's trying to help the new stripper who's come on hard times. So those are some parallels you have between the two.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So definitely get on it, man. I think you'll like it. You'll like
literally, as soon as we're done here, I'm gonna get on it. So
cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think you'll like it. But they should have done. They really should have put this second episode, and you'll see what I'm talking about, B. Avery. They should have had that second episode as the first episode, because anytime I feel like you're coming out of the gate with a new show, especially a new black show, you really have to punch them in the gut hard so that people want to say, "Oh, this is the show." and people want to watch it. And right now, because you don't have the water cooler talk of people going into the office and talking about stuff, you really have to hit hard so people get to talking about it online. And the first episode really felt like a third episode or a fourth episode where it was sort of slow character building. That's the kind of stuff I feel like you do. Once you get a couple of exciting episodes under your belt, you bring those slower episodes in, tell a little bit more of the story of the individual characters, and then people are okay with it at that point. They're like, okay, I'm ready to learn about these people a little bit more. Cool. And they did that right out the gate, and it just was slow. I mean, yeah, they should have flipped. At the very least, they should have flipped the first and the second episode. And because of the way the story went, they could have easily just rewrote a few parts of the story, and you could have easily flipped it.
Yeah, sounds good, man. That's a good way to describe it. I'm looking at the cast right now, and it looks promising. So,
Lord, they got a chick up there named Mississippi, crooked ass, crooked eye. They got a character up there named
well,
Mississippi is my favorite.
Yes.
Yeah, man. And in 2 episodes, I was on Team Autumn Night to now I'm on Team Mercedes, but I'm hoping she can change her stripper name to Team Tesla. That's what I want to change her name.
It's gonna be like all the rest of them dudes that go up to a strip club. They just gonna run through every girl up in there. He just going from one chick to the other. I like me some Mississippi.
Oh Lord!
This Autumn Night, it looks pretty nice too.
Autumn Night, she's straight.
She right, but we ain't gonna tell you why I done jumped. I done flipped.
Okay.
Can't tell you why. I'm gonna figure it out. You'll figure it out quick. But fellas, let's go ahead and dive on into it. Let me shout out Denise, Jack Cannon, Lionel, Trisha C, Bear Theater, and Trisha picking on your fresh face, Larry. She likes this kung fu look.
I know. I need to go get some more lotion. My face gets dry and starts cracking right after I shave it for the first time. I don't want to crack and fall and have my face fall off on camera.
Oh my God, this guy, man, this dude is nuts, man. This dude is nuts.
He really.
What the hell?
I checked the mirror myself, but he was good. He was good.
See, I have my herbal aftershave here.
Nice. Okay.
Man, just put some coconut oil on your face and be done with it. Golly. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us get into the show. Tonight, we're going to cover a myriad of topics. We're going to talk about Mike Tyson coming out of retirement to start the old man league for boxing, and his first fight is going to be Roy Jones Jr.
What are they going to call it? The Brain Damage League?
Man, I don't know what they're going to call it because that's what's going to happen.
This is interesting.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, dude going to hit somebody hard enough, he's going to have onset Alzheimer's right there on one hit, and then the whole thing is going to be over.
Man, what do they have? They have the IBF, the WBC, the
IFC.
So what are they going to call this? They're going to have to call this one like the WBD, the World Brain Damage Conference or something. WBC something.
Seriously.
I mean, because as hard as those dudes hit, you can't take too many punches like that when you're 50 years old. You just can't do it.
Nope.
Yeah, and I'm curious, is this like a full-fledged fight or is this like a little scrimmage or something like that?
They're calling it an exhibition, but I mean, a boxing exhibition means you're still getting hit in the head.
Right.
Yeah.
The only reason they're saying it's an exhibition is because they're not going to full 12 rounds. But you still.
The only reason why they're calling it an exhibition is because they're not going to get licensed in any state to actually fight. California, Nevada, Boston, no one's going to give those guys a license to fight. They're too old.
I thought that was going to Fight Island where Dana White do the UFC.
That's another reason why they probably would go there, because they don't need a license to fight there. I think that Fight Island's like Abu Dhabi or someplace.
Yeah, somewhere like that.
Yeah.
So who do y'all have your money on?
Well, before we put money on it, let's go ahead and take a look at the background story of how these two gladiators got to where they're at. And you know, they used to call Mike Tyson the baddest man on the planet until Robin Givens got his ass. Here we go.
Boxing fans, brace yourself. Mike Tyson is back. The former heavyweight champion is returning to the ring September the 12th to fight another boxing legend, 51-year-old Roy Jones Jr. The two will face off in an 8-round exhibition in Carson at the Dignity Health Sports Park. The 54-year-old Tyson last fought some 15 years ago.
I'm meant to be humble. Unbelievable. We're not born to be humble. We're born to be humble. Everybody know it. Here.
Boxing's a brutal sport. He dominated. His legs are huge. His thighs are huge. His arms are huge. His neck is huge. So it's like, it's very risky, yes, but God is in control of all. I was beating everybody in every weight class I was in. What you gonna do? It's like David and Goliath. He's a giant monster we know.
And my ego's with me, and I'm saying, you think you fly, huh? You ain't shit. Look, the average gonna get here and kick your ass. You better get on top of your game. You wanna get embarrassed in front of these people?
And I'm little old David who only has God on my side, which is only all I need.
And then the other ego say, you, watch what I'm gonna do.
Man,
I can't wait.
I don't want to see that, man. I don't want to see the one who walk out the ring with Parkinson's.
Boy,
man, come on.
Look, it's like this, man. If the fight can go the distance, Roy Jones winning. But
how do you go the distance? Like, but both those dudes are killers. And here's the problem: when you get old like that, you get, first of all, they both look like they're still in decent shape. They have that old man strength. But the problem is when you have old man strength like that, you can still throw a punch. The other dude's just not quick. Well, you're not either quick enough to get out of the way, which means you're gonna get hit. You know.
I'm leaning with you though, Lamont. I think that if they do go the distance to 8 rounds, that Roy is going to get him. I mean, when I first heard about this, I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, Mike Tyson is going to kill him. But then I just started thinking, I'm like, well, I don't know. After I saw that clip right there, it just seems, Roy is just taking a more humble approach, being more strategic. I don't know. It seems like he got some trump cards in his back pocket that he's going to pull out and could surprise us all. But I just don't know. I don't know.
Roy going to have to go rope-a-dope because Mike Tyson is 230. Roy at his heaviest was 205, and that was him going up in weight. So and Mike still looked like he got that catch on his swing. So the only way Roy is going to win this thing, he's going to have to wear Mike Tyson down. He's going to have to rope-a-dope him, and he's going to just have to make Mike Tyson work. If he can get Mike Tyson past 3 rounds, Roy Jones will win this fight.
Did you see how hard Mike was throwing those body shots with
that's what I'm talking about.
He's gonna have Roy Jones peeing blood for a month. Why would you want to do? Both of them are rich men. Why would you want to do that to yourself?
Man, look, I tell y'all like
this.
What
I would have liked to see.
What's that?
I would have liked to have seen both these brothers do a reality competition where they say Tyson's gonna coach one team, Roy Jones is gonna coach another team, and they're gonna go out there and they're gonna find the top boxers and they're gonna train them. They're going to train them, they're going to corner them, and then they're going to give them a fight.
Now, that is a good idea.
It's a good idea, but it wouldn't make as much money as seeing these dudes get in the ring themselves.
Maybe they can do both. Who knows?
Yeah, well, like he said, he's starting a league for I don't know if y'all have heard of Ice Cube's got the 3-on-3 league that he does. Yeah. So this is supposed to be Mike Tyson's kind of his version of that for retired boxers, and he gave this long soliloquy on how some cats who, when they get to a certain age, they don't want to stop, so he want a place for them to go. And I'm thinking to myself, if you feel like you still got it, why don't you keep boxing in the sanctioned leagues we got right now? I mean, if it's all like that, it's all like that. But I think this is more hype. I think deep down on the inside, B. Avery, Mike is really humble, but he's got to hype the fight up. And he's probably trying to position himself to be the antagonist, where Roy is positioning himself to be the protagonist. I think that's what we're seeing with this. But
when was the last time you met an older fighter?
You mean like George Foreman?
like George Foreman is a rarity because he has most of his faculties. But you know, when I lived in California, there seemed to be either a lot of them moved out there or they would just come through there. And I used to meet quite a few of them, and I can tell you almost without a doubt, all of them seemed to do a whole lot of stuttering. They always had these long pauses. None of them seemed like they had complete control of their faculties. They seemed like they were all, even if they were physically seemed like they were okay, they all seemed like they were very, very damaged. I mean, even dudes like De La Hoya seemed a little like he was a little bit slower, you know? Because I met De La Hoya when he was fighting, and then I had seen him. Dude looked like he had been slowed down 5 or 10 steps. I mean, dude was not nearly as sharp as he was before. And
man, you can't take but so many hits to the head before you rattle something loose in there. You know, the cobwebs go shaking a little bit.
But that's when you're taking those shots as a young man. How you know that the damage is infinitely greater when you're an older man.
Yeah, about a mile. And look, I don't know. I don't mean to judge Mike or anything like that, but it seems like he has too much emotions invested in this. Like he has something to prove. I don't know.
He does.
I mean,
he does.
Really? Okay. Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, hey, you know, they always talk about how men shouldn't show emotions and things like that, which I disagree with. But I don't know if y'all saw that interview a couple of weeks ago or a month ago where he was really emotional. It may have been on his podcast or whatever. Yeah. But I mean, that may be the thing that, you know, saves him or breaks him. We're just going to have to see. But really just have to see in that clip, like Roy just seems like he's just trying to have some fun. But Mike, you know, I don't know, man. It just, I love the guy, but he just kind of seems like he on a roller coaster right now. So
yeah, it almost seemed like he wanted to relive some of his glory days through there. And I get that. You know what I wouldn't mind seeing Mike do. I wouldn't mind Mike becoming like a real boxing trainer for some of these MMA guys, because there's a lot of MMA dudes out there that just don't have the best stand-up. Some of them do, but most of them don't. Some of them, you know, a lot of them come from a martial arts background, you know, whether it's jiu-jitsu or taekwondo or karate or whatever. I would love to see Mike as just like start his own team, like how they have Team Alpha Male and they have, you know, Top Team down in Florida and some of the other whatever other teams they have. I would love to see Mike start a team where he brings in some of the other MMA guys to teach all the ground game and all that stuff, and he handles the boxing and send some people out there that are just straight monsters. Because for him to go back into the ring, I just think it's going to end up where it's just, I mean, the whole thing is just designed terribly. People are going to get hurt, seriously hurt. You know, because I can tell you right now, if Mike hit me when I was 25 years old, I probably would have been knocked out. I would have got up the next day, got a beer, and I'd have been all right. I've been like, damn, my jaw hurts a little bit. If Mike hits me today, I'm probably gonna be in the hospital for 2 weeks. You know, it's just a different. It's just the way it is when you get older.
Nonchalant about it, you know.
And you know what? And that's my fear for poor little Roy. Roy is gonna be giving up like 30 pounds, and he could take a hard body shot, crack a rib, and then might lay him out. So he's gonna have to go into this fight, and he's gonna have to play the Money Mayweather strategy. I'm gonna pop you, not let you hit me. I'm gonna try to wear him down.
And is that the gap right now? 30 pounds difference between them? Is that the gap?
Something like that.
Jeez,
that's a lot of weight.
I
mean, it has its advantages. Most of the time, that has its advantages when someone's much faster. But Mike has always been fast. He still looks fast in those clips. So I'm not sure that having that 30-pound weight difference is going to make any difference in the speed.
I will say this, since I was a former boxer, it's totally different when you're in there with a moving target who's trying to hit you back. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And as Mike once said, everybody has a plan till you get hit in the face.
And that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. And Mike got his ass hit in the face too. So there you go. He needs to
I love that line.
Take his own advice. But let's move on, fellas. The next one we're going to cover is the preview of The Chi. Brandon, we suggest you jump on this one too. It's a real good show. We're going to prelude what's going on this week with a little clip from episode 6 that'll be coming on Sunday. Take a look.
You play?
A little bit.
Yeah. Just like I thought. Play just like Reg.
Bro, stop fouling.
Defense ain't fouling, nigga. That's defense.
Reg told me you got your shoes stolen from when you was playing over here.
I did.
He also said you chased that nigga down and beat the fuck out of him. And after that, nobody fucked with you again.
That's true, too. But I let him keep the shoes. I figured he needed them more than me.
Why'd you leave us?
I wasn't a man yet. I needed to go somewhere where I figure out how to be one.
So while you was trying to be a man, we was left in the house without one? What kind of sense that make?
Look, bro, what you want me to do? Turn back the hands of time and fix everything? I can't go back and make shit perfect.
Nah, just stop trying to be the black Superman. Just because you left me behind doesn't mean you need to save me.
All right, then. I'll stop trying to save you. You mad at me?
I have the right to be.
But you can't be mad forever. You want to hit me? You got your fist balled up like you want to hit me. Hit me. Go ahead. Go ahead, nigga. Hit me, nigga. Go ahead.
Damn.
That's a good one.
I know.
I may not be your Superman, but I ain't gonna be your punch bag neither. We good?
Well,
I like that. I like that.
Well. I didn't think he was going to hit him,
nice
but he hit him. Larry?
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to hit him either.
Hey, he hit him. Larry, what do you expect to happen on episode 6 this coming week? We know that that's going to be a storyline, and we also know that Ronnie finds the house where Keisha is tied up and trapped. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, first, I don't know how Trig is going to sit up there and say I couldn't do this because I wasn't a man then. He's not a man now. How are you going to be a man and you can't even come to terms with the fact that you're gay? I mean, for real. If you want to act like you're a man, you know, you have to acknowledge who and what you are, and he can't even do that. So he's not a man, you know.
Right on.
That's just where I'm at. So, but I mean, I like the fact that they're actually having some conversations between young men and young, well, almost a man, trying to be a man and trying to be a man. I like the fact they're trying to work that out, you know.
Definitely.
We'll see. I mean, I part of my problem is with Jake and him. I get that they're family, but dude is still just a straight up sociopathic, murdering, just criminal.
Who, the brother?
I mean, he was introduced by murking a dude and then not even batting an eye. And I mean, I don't know how anyone thinks he's supposed to be a good influence on this kid. You know?
Well, I mean, Jake is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Is either the brother or he stay with Duda. And do you think Duda's a better influence?
Duda's not a good influence either. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I kind of hope something happens where Jake ends up having to move in with what's her name? What's the little girl and her dad? The little militant chick at the private school?
Oh, I can't think of her name, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, I would almost be like, man, maybe something happens and he has to move in with her or something, with her father.
And then that's going to cause tension. That's going to cause tension between him probably and Kev.
There you go. That's a great storyline right there because it's already tension with those two because of her. So just let it continue. But,
Lord have mercy.
you know, but the reality of it is I would really like to see Jake have a chance. And the way they keep on putting him out there, it's like this kid doesn't have a chance. All he is he's surrounded by criminals and murderers. And I don't see how you make it out like that. I mean, the way he is with Duda, maybe he learns to be a better criminal. Maybe he learns how to be a more sophisticated, you know, criminal, but he's still the way it is going to be still a criminal.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I don't really have a huge prediction for what's going to happen in this episode, other than I'm really anxious to see what is going to happen when Ronnie rolls up to the house where Keisha's located. I also want to know what is going to be the next steps for Emmitt now that he's been thrown away from Sonny's restaurant, and Dominique and him have to find another way to make their ends. I'm interested to see what happens with that. And I'm interested to see, are they really going to give Candy a better love scene? Because that one we saw last week won't hitting on 3 Cent, man. I could have used that 3 Cent.
They're going to, because when I was, I watch the Housewives. I do. I watch them. People can say what they want to say, but I watch the Housewives. and one of the storylines they had on the Housewives this last season was the fact that Todd was unhappy because she was going to be on this show where they had some sex scenes, and apparently there was some nudity in there. So, he was a little unhappy about that. So there's going to be some candy coated titties coming up in there. I don't know when, but I expect to see them before the end of the season. So otherwise, what was all the hype that was about?
Yeah. So,
candy coated titties are always good. So in my book, so
yeah, man, they taste delicious as long as you got some milk to wash them down.
Man!
All right, fellas, we're gonna move on.
I do think that Ronnie. I would not at all be surprised though if Ronnie dies this season. I would not be surprised if he ends up sacrificing his life to save Keisha.
Well, I'm definitely interested. A lot of that went through, over my head, but that's definitely something I'm gonna add on the list to start watching, and hopefully I'll catch up to you guys.
Yeah, put it on your list. But we're gonna move along to something that you don't know about. None of us know about. We're waiting for it to come on. We just got a Comic-Con trailer for something I've been following for 2 years now. Lovecraft. They did a Comic-Con trailer. Man. We're going to take a quick look at it.
New trailer.
Yes.
Here we go.
And we're going to discuss it. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, Lovecraft is a book. And if you haven't gotten the history on it, go back and watch my video I did like 6 months ago when I gave y'all a history of what it's going to entail. Here we go. Ooh. This is right up my alley, ladies and gentlemen. I will be doing reviews of this. And in the last video I did about this, I said, which one is going to be worse? The racism or the monsters? If you're the black people caught in the middle, which door are you going to go through? Having said that,
the same thing, the racism and the monsters, the same thing, man.
I'll probably pick the monsters.
I might pick the monsters because this also gives me a Stranger Things feel. Only it's got more of an African American spin to it, done by J.J. Abrams and Jordan Peele. So you know it's going to be creepy, great cinematography. Avery, I give it to you. What do you think this story is going to do?
I think it's probably going to be the best on television or whenever it is launched, because like you just said, I mean, maybe I heard about this before, but looking at the creators of this, Jordan Peele, J.J. Abrams, I mean, this is a home run so far. Yeah. Monsters and racism in the 1950s. I mean, I'm looking at the thing now. He's trying to go across the country in the Jim Crow America. I mean, my goodness gracious, especially with the bombs going on right now. This seems like it's going to be off the chain.
And it's a book, by the way. If I didn't mention it, it is a best-selling book that the adaptation that they're doing is straight source material from the book.
Oh, this is perfect, bro.
Nice.
Perfect. I'm all over this.
Now, Larry, you don't normally do scary. Are you going to do this one?
Yeah, I'm going to do that one because I just don't know how they can go wrong with J.J. Abrams and Jordan Peele on the same thing, man. The same project. How do you? And then you got Journey Smollett and Michael Clark Williams. I mean, damn.
Courtney B. Vance.
I don't know how you go wrong.
Yeah.
You know.
I wish he got more work too, but yeah, I'm hyped.
Yeah, it's going to be right, ladies and gentlemen. It comes out in a month. HBO, they've got another home run. The storyline is going to be pretty similar to what was in the book, and they said they put a lot of work into making the supernatural element of the story almost cross sections to some of the supernatural elements you see in Stranger Things, meaning that it's something that you really believe will happen. So, man, sign me up. Get your popcorn ready. I will not be watching the Dallas Cowboys when this show is on because I'll be watching this. That's where I
think and HBO seems to do a good job, whenever they work with whoever the creators are to adapt, books to screenplays or to series, because they did a fantastic. I was a fan who read the True Blood books, and they did a really good job with that series. I mean, obviously, like anything, you can't put everything that's in a book in a series or on screen because it's just too much. But they did a really good job keeping the story intact and keeping the characters intact. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they do with this too.
Yeah, and I love Watchmen too from HBO. So.
Oh man, God, I love that show, man. That was a well done show HBO had last year, and it's about to come back on.
Really?
Season 2.
I thought it was a limited run.
No, yeah. I thought that they said they had renewed it with what was the girl from 227's name? God, I can't think of her name.
Regina King?
Regina King, but she wasn't going to be in the renewal. She was just going to be directing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
we have to see. That was amazing.
So I'm not done with y'all. I got another show that we're going to have to get on and watch that's coming back in a couple of weeks. And this came out last year. Season 2 of this show is coming right now. Take a look at this one.
What?
Oh snap!
What's happening?
That's hilarious.
That's disgusting and funny.
Oh my God!
Let me tell you something. If y'all didn't see season 1, I beg of you, if you want to see the grittiest anti-hero show where the heroes are using their powers for bad, they're using their powers for money, this is your show.
Yeah.
Their version of Superman is a punk ass dude called Homelander, right? And this guy, their Aquaman, this guy y'all just saw, his name is Deep Ender, right? And he's a punk ass too. He don't know if he's straight or homosexual. He can't make up his mind. One day he's having sex with the fish people. The next day he's trying to do a man. Next day he's trying to do a woman. All that is encompassed in season 1. But they make the show gritty because they don't pull no punches on the gore, as you just seen. Because in the first episode of last season, they had their version of the Flash destroy this woman's hands. They slowed it down. You seen the blood hit the boyfriend in the face. You seen a drip of blood hit him on the penis. It was gory and graphic.
Disgusting.
Disgusting. Larry, I'm gonna give it to you first. Are you gonna watch?
I'll say that season 2 must be really, really good because they've already renewed it for a season 3. So that's, I mean, I'm really happy about that. So I don't know what's gonna happen this season, but the studio executives must have watched it and been like, "Yep, you have to see season 3 already." So, but I'm looking forward to it. I've only seen like 2 or 3 trailers for it, and they all look great. They all look
every last one
ridiculous, and in the same. It's like in the same vein as last season, but they amped it up a little bit more. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. B. Avery.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna definitely have to catch up on that too, because that looks good. I know that season 2 is like coming out with like in a few weeks or so, right?
Yep.
So I got to catch up on season 1. I did see the first episode of season 1, and I did love it. That Flash scene, I know exactly what you're talking about. The black guy ran through and was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and still had to keep going. And then, like towards the end of, I guess there was in their chamber, one of the so-called superheroes was trying to get the other woman to serve him up, to be part of the team. I was like, my goodness gracious. So I will be watching it. Definitely, it does seem like it's up my alley or whatever.
Oh,
and so it seems pretty nice because everybody, all my friends are like, "B, what are you doing? Why aren't you watching the show? It's good." Superheroes. I'm like, all right, I'll get on it. But
it's dope.
I'm gonna get on
it. Man, it is dope. Like dope in 72 in New York. It is dope. But the question I want to know is, how did the Butcher get away from Homelander? Not to try to spoil it for you, Brandon, but Larry. You remember how last season went off, and we see the Butcher in 2 trailers, and he's not with Homelander. What's up?
I don't know, man. I don't know. And honestly, I kind of don't want to figure it out because I'm afraid if I think about it too much, I'm gonna figure it all out, and I just want to enjoy it again.
Oh Lord.
I ain't mad at you, brother.
Hey, man, you know they always twist this stuff up so that we don't usually get it right. You know,
sometimes you're right. They do. They try and flip it up a little bit.
And I think this one they can go in so many different directions with the story. And they did say that they are taking some leniency with the comic book. They're taking a small amount of leniency, with the comic book. So I'm interested in how it's going to go. I'm just ready for it, and we need these shows to go ahead and come online because everything else is out right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, post your comments about those shows. Now we're going to get into something that's more kind of fun for all of us. I wanted us to compile a list of our top 5 favorite Black shows of all time. And I'm going to start this out by letting us all do number 5, and then we'll discuss it. So, Larry, what is number 5 on your list?
Oh, man, let me pull up my list. See, because this was a really, really hard list for me to make, right? Because I had my top 5 that were my favorites. But then I also had a whole bunch of other movies that were on that list that I thought should be on the list because they were very important movies. You know, like they were important for the time. And my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This movie, I'm not sure if you consider it a Black movie or not. Like when you said, what are your favorite Black movies? I wasn't quite sure, like, what qualifies something as a Black movie? Is it because it's made by a Black director, or because it's got Black actors, or because it's a Black story, or does it have to have all of those elements? I wasn't sure.
It needs to have a little bit of all those elements.
Well, number 5 on my list, I think is actually missing. You know, I think it's actually missing the elements, except it has Black actors. It's about a Black story, and it's Glory.
Okay.
So,
Denzel, right?
Denzel, yeah. So Denzel, that's when he won his first Oscar for Best Supporting, and that is my number 5 on the list. I absolutely love that movie. I can watch that movie over and over and over again. It is fantastic. One of my professors from grad school was the sound designer on that movie. I believe he won an Oscar for that one as well. He's actually the first Black person to ever win multiple Oscars. His name's Russell Williams. So if you don't know, recognize. And
okay.
So
cool. B. Avery.
Try and get him on the show, man.
You should. You should. B. Avery, what's number 5 on your list?
Number 5 for me on my list, it may be a bit controversial, but I mean, it is what it is, and that's what I got right here.
Soul Plane.
Unrated version.
Yes. I'm kidding. I'm just joking.
I was gonna say, please explain.
Yeah, I was gonna have to get an explanation. You're gonna have to explain that with me.
Show your work.
It's right here. The Best Man.
Best Man. Okay.
Best Man.
This is one of my favorites right here. I can watch this movie over and over and over again.
Okay.
I mean, it was. I mean, there's nothing I can complain about. You know what I'm saying? I loved every character. I loved every motivation, the growth, the breakups, the makeups, everything. It was a lot of challenging things. A lot of relationships, friends and romantic were challenged in this movie. And I just think it really speaks to our culture a ton. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Hey, I can roll with that one. I can get down with that. I can get down with that. So now y'all might pick on my number 5, but it shows my age a little bit. And it had to be number 5 on my list, and I'll explain to you why, but here it is. House Party, the first one.
All right. That's a fun movie.
I'm pretty sure I was going to have that,
the very first one. So I was a wee lad when that movie came out, right? And, I wasn't supposed to watch that movie. But when my mama would leave, I would sneak in the room, find the tape, slip it on in there, and Lord, they had sex in that movie. Oh my God, Lord, they had sex. And they had raps. So for the longest time, people thought I could rap because I had memorized the raps Kid and Play was doing in that movie, but I would put my own words into it, right? Okay. And I'm like in the 3rd grade or whatever. These people think I can actually rap. And so for me, this was a cornerstone movie because this was the first Black movie I ever seen that had, 2 Black people in it. and the movie was based around a whole entire black cast. Honorable mention for me would have been a movie by Richard Pryor called Which Way Is Up, but that's not necessarily a black movie. He was the star of the movie, but it wasn't necessarily a black movie. So that's why House Party became my number 5, because it was the first all-black cast. It was my introduction into movies and our culture. So that's why it's number 5 for me. Larry, what's your number 4?
My number 4, if you're talking about showing your age, here we go. My number 4 is Hollywood Shuffle.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Woo,
I love that movie. This is first of all, I love this movie, and I also think this movie is very, very important to black filmmaking, because this is one of those movies when brothers out there could not just brothers, but brothers, sisters, everyone, they could not get jobs, when they could not get decent roles. Robert Townsend and them went out there and they maxed out people's credit cards. They did guerrilla filmmaking where they were out in LA filming in alleys at night and all kinds of times of the day without permits. The story behind them making this movie is fascinating, and it's a hilarious movie. The overall theme of the movie is fantastic. That last scene that they talk about where they say there's always work at the post office it's so much deeper than just what it sounds like, and it's just a fantastic movie that's funny. It pokes fun at a lot of the Hollywood stereotypes. It pokes fun at a lot of the black stereotypes. It's just, if you have not seen Hollywood Shuffle, go check it out. It's sort of a cult classic at this point, and it's hilarious.
Okay, B. Avery, it's on you now.
All right. My number 4, it's in a little, I gotta hide it, but I don't know if y'all can see that. Set It Off.
Set It Off.
Set It Off.
Hey.
I got that.
All right.
But yeah, man, Set It Off, dope ass movie. I love the 4 women that was in this right here. And while I do feel that, you know, everybody can somewhat improve their own personal situation, with people that look like us is quite different. And you got that perspective from these 4 women right here, to where, you know, when they're doing all they can, but you know, because of their situation, they're just kind of forced into this life of crime, unfortunately. You know, some people may frown upon that, but they just didn't really have that many options, you know. And I remember seeing that movie when I was a child, and also just as an adult, and you know, it just really hits me right here. And you know, it's just some of the stuff that went on in that movie in the mid-90s is still happening today, unfortunately. And I don't know, it just speaks volumes to me, and I can relate to a lot, or I know a lot of people that can relate to them in that movie, and that's just why it's one of my favorites.
Right. Hey, I'm with that, brother. That's a good one. So what he has as his number 4 kind of goes in line with my number 4. Y'all remember this one right here. This is my number 4 movie, New Jack City. It was a New Jack swing back when I was a kid. I was like 12.
That's on my honorable mention list. That's on one of my lists as one of the important movies, I think.
It was important. Like, I was 11 years old. This was kind of sort of right around the Rodney King thing, right? Where we had seen injustice. They vilified black people, which they still do that to this day. And I can remember Nino Brown being the first, I guess, bad guy, if you want to call him that I was actually rooting for. I was rooting for him, but I was also rooting for Ice-T's character. And this movie, it had every element you want from a crime boss movie: sex, drugs, shootouts, great lines. It had it all, and I was there for all of it. New Jack City, I could watch it any time of the day, and could watch it right now.
That movie scared me when I was a little kid, man, because when it came out, I was like 6 or 7 years old. And I think this was the first movie where I saw, like, you know, like gun violence or people getting shot up. So that scene on the steps or whatever, where, like, the caterers came, that was like my introduction to like violence in movies or whatever. Just seeing somebody getting shot up, and it like kind of scarred me for a while. But I love it now. You know, I was afraid of it then, but you know, it's a pretty dope movie.
I love that movie. I love that scene when they were all around the table. Am I my brother's keeper?
Yeah, man.
Yes, I am.
it had so many lines in it. What about the line where he told Homeboy, sit your $5 ass down before I make change? Oh my goodness. And not to mention that, ladies and gentlemen, but the New Jack soundtrack was bananas. I wound up getting that CD, and that was one of the first movies I ever got a soundtrack for, and I loved it. So, and Set It Off had a great soundtrack too. Even though we passed that one, it had a great soundtrack too. So, Larry, give us your number 4.
My number 4 is a more recent one, and that is Straight Outta Compton.
Okay.
That one is a fantastic movie. It is. That's one of those movies I wish they had. Is that your number 3? There we go. I wish the Academy had a category for ensemble cast, because I think that would have won if they had a category for them, because they were so good. But because they were this ensemble, I don't think anybody was going to stand out as a best actor per se. But if they had a category for that, they would have won it. That was one of the best movies I've seen in a very, very, very long time. And what's his name? Part of it is, some people may say, it's like cheating because he looks so much like his dad, but he really did the work to look like his dad. He was a really good actor. Ice Cube's son, I forgot his name, O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Right.
And but he it wasn't like he just said, okay, that's my dad, I look like him, put me in the movie. You could tell he really did the work and all in all, it was just a fantastic film. It really was. I was really hoping that they would have been recognized more broadly, at the Oscars, but that's how stuff happens. So
yeah.
B. Avery, is that really your number 3?
No, it is not my number 3, but I had it here because it is an honorable mention. Like before we went on live, I couldn't decide, and it didn't make the cut. However, my number 3 is, and I can't believe I don't have a copy of it, but that's 1991 John Singleton, Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood.
That's on my honorable mention list too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, one of the reasons why I love that film, and it kind of just ties into like Set It Off, is, you do have your people in your neighborhood that's, in our community that's, probably not going to go anywhere, for a number of reasons. But then you still have those true gems in there, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character or Ricky. They're aspire to do great, but they just can't because of the situation they're in. And it was, I think it was one line in the movie from not Morris Chestnut, but Lawrence Fishburne, when he was trying to talk to the community or whatever, about gun violence. And one character was like, "Hey man, what am I supposed to do? Everybody else got a gun around me. I'm not supposed to have a gun. And if they're gonna smoke me, I'm gonna smoke them back or smoke them too, or something like that." I don't remember the line verbatim. I think y'all know what I'm talking about. But again, this is another film that speaks volumes. It still breaks my heart when Ricky gets shot in the back. Because he had the whole world in front of him, and it was just taken away off stupidity. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, that happens sometime. That would always be top notch for me. Right? That's a classic film. Not just in black movies, but period. It's just a classic.
Right.
I love that movie, and I think that movie it didn't make my top 5, but it's on my list here because I think it's such an important film because it's John Singleton's first film that he came out. And for those of you who don't know, that movie was actually his thesis film at when he was at USC Film School. Oh, really? So he was working on that project, and I believe it was Steven Spielberg who saw a scene. I think they had to shoot a scene of it, and then he started working with them. And so it started off as his thesis project, but I thought that was such an important film because what it did, at least for what I felt it did, it showed Hollywood there is a crop of young black filmmakers that are coming up that are not Spike Lee, that are going to make all these great films. If you give them the space to tell these stories, they are going to tell wonderful stories, and they're going to make you a lot of money in the interim, or in the process. And I feel like they did. I feel like that John Singleton, you know, in that story allowed for other filmmakers to come up, and you start to see like the Anton Fuquas and the F. Gary Grays, and you start to get films like Menace to Society and stuff. You really start to get some great films that came out after that. And I think that when you had someone like John Singleton that was able to sort of kick in the door and say, look, we don't have to be, you can give us more than just having us do sort of, you know, Dolomite, you know, blaxploitation movies, or we don't have to just be just movies about black people that only black people want to watch. We can make movies about black people that everybody wants to watch.
Right.
And, you know, and I think that really, for lack of a better phrase, set it off, you know?
You hit the nail on the head with that one, bro. You did.
Yep. And which brings me to number 3. When you mentioned movies that everyone can watch, that become cult classics, not just with black people, but with all people, I think probably one of the most watched comedies that white people love that is a black production is this thing right here. It's Friday.
Oh, yeah.
It's Friday, ladies and gentlemen. It is Friday. When you say Felicia, everybody know what you're talking about. When you say Craig and Day Day, everybody know what you're talking about.
Man, how you get fried on your day off?
Yeah.
Right. And ladies and gentlemen, this thing had an all-star cast. Chris Tucker, John Witherspoon, Ice Cube, Zeus. You just had Nia Long. You had a outstanding cast, and they mirrored this thing together. I don't see how they shouldn't have had some kind of Oscar nomination for at least comedy, because the movie was pretty funny. It had a classic theme, and it basically was the backstory to one of the themes was overcoming a bully.
Right.
And it overcame the bully, and it showed you what happens when you stand up to the bully. It showed you what was going on in our communities and just the different things that we was dealing with living during that time. Had to have it on my list.
You got knocked the
F out. I mean, this thing had classic lines. I had to have it. That's my number 3. Keep posting your comments on what you guys think. Larry, we getting to the end now, baby. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is one that if you have not seen this movie, I recommend that you go right after this show is over. Whatever you were planning on doing, go watch it, and that is City of God.
Yes.
It's a foreign film from Brazil. City of God is one of the best movies ever made.
Bro.
One of the best movies ever made.
About that movie. Have you seen
it?
You said best movie ever made.
It's one of the best movies. Here's how good this movie is. I put this on my list as one of my favorite black movies. But if I was just making a list of my favorite movies, it would still be on that list. It is that good.
Have you heard of it, Lamont?
No, that's my first time hearing of it.
One of my roommates introduced it to me in 2004, and it's pretty cool, man. Like, you know, I don't mean to steal your fire, Larry, but it's an amazing film. Like, you got all these people running around just thinking they just the hardest in the paint, hardest in the street, but they don't got nothing on the kids that are in this movie right here. Nothing. I mean, these are true. I don't want to use. Well,
they're not even. You don't call them gangsters. These are survivors, bro. These are kids that live in the favelas. I mean, these kids are hard because they have to be.
No choice, man. We're talking babies, man. You know, and it's sad. It's a lot of things, man. Your emotions are you're gonna feel the whole full spectrum of emotions when you watch this right here, because it's pretty tough. It's tough.
It's a beautiful movie too. It really is.
I'm gonna have to watch it and give y'all a report back on. I'll try to watch it this weekend, because hell, what else am I gonna do? Sit around up all night with the baby? That's what's gonna happen. So I gotta do something.
Howard McQuarter said Belly. Man, I forgot about Belly.
Larry, it's so many. It's so many out there, man. Belly should be somewhere on the list. But
Belly should be on a list somewhere, but Belly would be on a list if we were making a list of top 5 cult classics. Belly's on that list.
Yeah,
Belly's on that list.
So B. Avery, what is your number 2?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. It was Friday. It was Friday. However, I'm gonna bring in an honorable mention kind of and swap it out with my number 2 if that's okay.
That's fine.
This one came out in 1999, written and directed by Rick Famuyiwa, and that's The Wood with Tay Diggs on the clips, and all of them good people right there. One of my favorite movies. Dude is in California. I think my favorite line is when a scene is when he's in the living room trying to dance with the bear, and his mom comes in there and catches him or whatever. I mean, the whole thing is because I saw this in 1999, right? I was 13 or 14 years old, so that's right there at that age to where people are having sex for the first time. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So given the content in the movie, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, is this how it's gonna be? I'm taking notes. He puts on the condom and she's like, is it supposed to look like that? Yeah. I mean, bro, like being nervous about the first dance. I remember the first party I went to, like where it was actually real dancing. Yeah. I was terrified. I was scared out of my life, you know what I'm saying? And so like I'm at that age as I'm watching this movie right here, man. And it's I thought I had it. I thought I brought it with me, but I guess I didn't. But yeah, The Wood, number 2, it's a dope movie right there for me.
Look, Avery, I'm with you, man, because the same feelings and emotions you had from that is what House Party did for me.
Yeah, okay.
Like I got my dad's steps. You remember in House Party they was putting on condoms and he had a raggedy ass condom that was expired and all of that. Right. I went through the same thing. I went through the same exact thing. That was it.
Yeah.
So
and one more tidbit. Yeah, I took one of my junior high school crush with me. Like my mom dropped us off at the movie or whatever. We went to Six Flags first as a group, then we all went to go see that. And so it was a real true experience for me that I can be able to tell my grandchildren about someday. So,
that's dope.
Yeah.
Hey, Lamont, you got to let us go through our honorable mention list real quick after we finish our top 5.
Yeah, you get two. You get 2 honorable mentions. 2.
Okay.
Because I want to name them off.
3.
I want to name them off. I want to go through my list.
No, man. 3, and that's it. 3. You got to learn to limit yourself. You get 3.
I know y'all not gonna pick mine either, but
so just to make y'all mad, my number 2 has 2. It's tied for 2 because the same actor is the star of both movies. So y'all should already know what I'm about to say because we have not mentioned this man's name, but he's a legend.
I know who it is.
It's my folk Eddie Murphy. Boomerang.
I know it.
Boomerang and Coming to America are tied for me for number 2 on the list. I could watch both of those movies right now. I would even beg to say that you could say Coming to America is an all-time great, but I also feel like you might could say that about Boomerang being a romantic comedy is an all-time great. And one thing that stood out for me, my favorite male quartet was on the Boomerang soundtrack, and I got introduced to them by that, Boyz II Men. I got introduced to Tony Braxton via Boomerang. I got introduced to Robin Givens. I got introduced to Strong J. I got introduced to Holly Berry. Grace Jones. Yeah. I call her Strong J to this day. She'll never be Grace Jones to me. She's gonna always be Strong J.
You know what's funny is that most people, when they talk about Grace Jones, they don't realize Grace Jones was a supermodel before she started acting. And if you look up some of the old Grace Jones, I mean, she was beautiful in her Strong J days. But if you look her up earlier, man, she was just
she was right.
Absolutely. She was striking in all of the best ways.
Yeah. But Boomerang had to make it. And Coming to America, what can I say, ladies and gentlemen? It's a foundational classic.
Yeah,
it's a foundational classic. We can, as Black people, can go somewhere and recite lines from Coming to America, and we know exactly what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. And they're getting ready to come out with part 2, and so
soul glow.
Yeah, man. So
that soul glow.
And berries,
McDougal's. We ain't eating at McDonald's. We eating at McDougal's. And
Yes,
then you had the woman that was at the hockey game. He kept saying, "In the face."
Sexual chocolate. Sexual chocolate. Never get that. Drop the mic. Sexual
Oh my
chocolate.
God. And Larry, not to mention all the stars that was in Coming to America. Eric LaSalle. You had the dad from Good Times. You had you had Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, you had star on top of star in that movie. So Eddie Murphy connected the two. That's why they made my number 2. But ladies and gentlemen, we're to our number 1. Our number 1. Larry, what's your number 1?
My number 1 is a movie I have seen more times than I've probably seen any other movie. And that is The Life and Times of Killmonger, otherwise known as Black Panther.
Oh God, let me give Larry what he wants the people to hear, because that's all he wants. Here you go. This is for Larry.
And burn all that.
My king, we cannot do that. It is our tradition.
When I tell you to do something, I mean that shit. Burn it all.
All right,
that's right there, man. That's the best.
Finish it off, Larry. Why did that make your number 1?
Man, anytime you see a movie that sort of moves the cultural needle, it's like it has to be on there. It has to be on your list. And on top of that, it was just so entertaining. It was so much fun. It was so entertaining. I mean, I have watched movies over and over again, but I think I went and saw that movie. I think I probably saw that movie 12 times in the theater. I just kept going back and back and back. And I saw it a few times by myself. I saw it with my wife, I think twice. I took my niece to go see it like 2-3 times. I saw it with some friends. Anytime somebody was like, "We're going to see Black Panther," I was like, "Cool, I'm there."
Yeah.
I love that movie. I mean, everything from the Dora Milaje to Shuri and Killmonger was my favorite. All of it. I mean, I love that. I love that movie, man. Yeah. I love that movie. I mean, it is a classic right now. Even though it's current, it's still a classic, and it's even though it's a very current movie, it just is. So.
I love it.
So on you, B. Avery.
Yes.
Big moment.
Number 1. Well, to be honest with you, man, you took the fire from me. It was Coming to America.
On
DVD. It was Coming to America for all the same reasons. However, I'm going to give the viewers a little something else to gush on. So I'm going to speak it out. And that is came out 2 years ago, Spike Lee, and that's BlacKkKlansman.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Bro, this movie was just so cold to me. I mean, I think I saw this twice in the theater. Ran out the movie theater, threw up a little review on Facebook just with words, man. Because what Spike Lee was able to do with that is take a serious topic about like racism, white supremacy, but also infuse a lot of jokes in the movie too, or whatever, to make it like comical and not just like where you leaving the theater depressed or something like that. I mean, maybe something, but I still, it's based on the crazy, outrageous, true story. And for him to be able to put all those elements in one movie and make it work, it's just like, phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And I think my 2 favorite scenes in the movie was I think it was it Belafonte, where he was giving a speech at the end, and I may have been mixing up one of our great leaders, but it was like a montage going from like the Black Power speech to like the white power, and it was going back and forth or whatever. I love that.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And also one with this was the debut for John David Washington for me, and I think for everybody else. But when he was speaking with I forgot the black lady's name. She was in the Spider-Man movies. They were just going up a hill, and they were just talking about how it's actually how me and you, Lamont, met or started talking or conversing. Is how black people have like double consciousness.
Right.
How we have our black self, how we're more of ourselves around amongst each other. But then when we're out in society, the predominant, dominant society, we have the code switch, and
right.
How that can play on our minds. And that just kind of, I just remember seeing it in the movie and just like, whoa, they're really, hitting this right here. You know what I'm saying? This is really speaking to me. So Black Klansman, one of my favorites.
Hey, I love that movie too, man. I saw it in the movie theater. I saw it at home. I kind of done that one the way Larry did Black Panther. I was trying to show more and more people that movie because for whatever the reason, it kind of went under the radar, if you can say that. But it was really a well done movie, like you said. Yeah. You got a chance to see Mr. Washington, and he done his thing, man. I liked the movie. I thought it was good.
It was perfect.
So that brings me to my number one movie, and you guys should know me by now. It should be no question. Here we go with my number one movie. I hate to do it, but it's true too.
Yeah, go ahead and burn all that.
My king, we cannot do that. It is our tradition.
When I tell you to do something, I mean that shit. Burn it all.
I mean that shit.
Oh, there you go. The life and times of Killmonger.
So this movie was groundbreaking and it won an Oscar. So you have to say in your list of greatest movies of all time, somewhere in there, Black Panther is there. Because they was able to take something that you're not supposed to be able to do with a superhero movie and add enough context, enough elements to the storyline to make it a household classic for everyone.
Yeah.
First Black movie to crack $1 billion.
First, you had white kids running around talking about they want to be Black Panther.
I was about to say one of the probably 4 or 5 handful of Black movies that had white culture saying things like "I'm from Wakanda," kind of like in the same vein of Friday, because that was another cult classic for whites. This movie crossed all kinds of intersections. It told our story in all its glory, the way it can be told. It didn't have any of that janky promoters feel to it. It was a well-done story, done within the story arc and the continuity of a bigger narrative, which was Marvel. So it had to be number one for me. I loved it. T'Challa knocked it out the park. He showed you why you don't have to worry about dealing with killmongers, because he was not the king of the world. He was the king of Wakanda. And it done my heart well.
Liberator.
Having said that, I did like the Killmonger thing because they got iconic lines in there. Bury me in the ocean, because my ancestors knew that dying in the ocean was better than being chained and bonded. Loved it. Can't do any better. So I'm with you on that one, Larry. But Larry, give us your top 3 honorable mentions.
All right, my top 3 honorable mentions. Man, this is hard because there's some on this list that I really want to. Can I do my top 4?
Top 4. Go for top 4.
Let me give you 4. So my top one is one that I just watched just this week that I absolutely love. As soon as I watched it, it instantly shot to the top of my list, and that is The Last Black Man in San Francisco.
Oh, I got to still see that.
Man, I thought that was just one of the most beautiful movies I have seen. It was just, watching that movie.
You said The Last Black Man in San Francisco?
Yes.
Came out like a year ago, right?
So good. And it's just so good. It's so well constructed. And it's sort of like watching that movie as a Black man in America. It's like, have you ever had some sort of infection and your doctor gives you antibiotics because you have like an ear infection or a sore throat or something, and you take your antibiotics and you wake up the next day and you feel good? You're like, oh, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go play. And your parents are like, no, you got to stay in for a little bit longer, but you feel really good. That's how I felt after watching that movie. It felt like I just took some really good medicine and felt great afterwards. I love that movie. It was the It would have been on my top 5 list, but I was like, I feel like I need to watch it a few more times before it gets elevated there, because I just watched it this week. But man, that movie was so good. I really enjoyed that. All right, my next honorable mention, which you guys are probably gonna laugh at me, but I love this movie, is Under the Cherry Moon. I love that movie with Prince.
Why would we laugh, man? This is your top. This is your list. Ain't nobody laughing at your list.
I love that movie, man. There's so many funny scenes in there with him and Jerome, and that scene where they're in that restaurant with the lady, the little uppity sedity lady, and he wrote on the napkin, Recasto, and she said, "Where do you go if you want to buy a Sam Cooke, Abbott?" And she was like, "What are you talking? Where do you go if you want to buy a Sam Cooke, Abbott? The Recasto."
Oh my Lord!
I'm so happy because you're happy.
Right.
That movie was hilarious, man, and I love the fact they shot it in black and white. It was just, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it thoroughly. All right.
Okay.
So my third one, and this is not a genre I'm particularly fond of, but the movie was so good, and I think it really opened up the eyes to Hollywood again, is Get Out. I think Get Out was just a pivotal film for Black filmmakers. I think for Hollywood in general, I think really what it did is showed Hollywood you can allow Black people to make great movies and tell great stories that don't have to be what you think they should be. You just give them the money and let them go do their thing, and they will bring back genius. And
it wasn't even a lot of money to make either, which is great too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was one. I'm not the biggest horror fan or scary movie fan, but I watched it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was terrifying in a lot of ways, but I think even so much. I mean, it was a great movie, and even more important, I think it was an important movie because of what that movie did. As far as opening things up for people, I think that movie is going to allow a lot of other filmmakers, a lot of other Black filmmakers, to make movies that maybe they wouldn't have otherwise been able to have the freedom to make. So I think it opened up a whole new space for Black filmmakers. All right. I guess this one would be my number 4. And this one is another one that I think it was a really great movie for me at that time. And it was also, I think, another important movie because of what it was, which was School Days. And and that was because growing up, you saw a lot of the white college movies, the white fraternity movies. You got to see all the stuff like Porky's and what's the other one with Belushi? Oh man, the one with Let Me Dance with Your Date. What was the name of that? What was the one with? Anyways, whatever that one was, I can't remember that old movie. But this was a Black college experience movie, and I think it allowed a lot of young Black folks that maybe didn't have college, on their mind, the opportunity to look at this and say, holy crap, this is what Black folks can do. Mm-hmm. We can go to college, and we can be in fraternities, and we can be in sororities, and we can go out there and party and have fun in college and get an education. And it was along those same, it was sort of in that same era, I felt like, where the Cosby era was coming up, where you were showing stories of successful Black people. But I think this movie you showed the successful Black people, but you showed so many different elements of the Black community and all the things we deal with as far as, colorism and poverty. And you had people in there that were sort of like the hippie, earthy granola people that wanted to save the world. You have the other people that just want to be like the power players and take over everything. You really had what I think of as a true representation of what the Black community is. It has a little bit of everything, and they really showed that in such a way that told a great story. So School Days is definitely on my list. It's an honorable mention, but it's definitely on my list.
Feel you. All right, time for you, B. Avery.
Yes, sir.
4 honorable mentions.
Yes, sir. And biting off the last little sentiment that you made, Mr. Larry, of a true representation of the Black community. My first one is going to be, I think it came out of 95, Soul Food. Because I think that is like the perfect representation of the Black family, or it can be. I love big families. I come from a big family. I don't know too much on my mom's side, but my dad's side, he was part of it was 8 of them, so 4 boys, 4 girls, and all of them had a ton of kids too. So just going over to Big Mama's house, because we called her Big Mama too, and just for Thanksgiving, whatever. I mean, that food, it was just the highlight of life. You know what I'm saying? Right. It just went down, you know, and it was just always a good time, you know. And even if we did bump heads with our cousins, our aunties, our uncles, 5 minutes later, we were still tripping out playing guts or a card game or something like that. But while it had all the love in the family, it still showed that like we're all human and we still fight and bicker because there was problems in that family too. You know, levels to it or whatever. But you know, we all have those members in our family that's just like, what's going on? You know, what I'm saying? Let's make more choices. So that reflection on screen and you're just able to relate. I don't know, just a favorite. Oh, and my favorite line, it's so true. Like these 5 fingers right here are not much by themselves, but if you ball them up into one body, you're gonna have that is come on, man. You already know what's wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and make this fist.
You know, knowledge.
So I love that movie. Now the remainder, I'm just list these off right back to back because they're still in the same vein. I love all these. There's the Temptations, the Heartbeats, and 5, The American Dream. I mean,
man, can't nobody sang like Eddie Kane. Oh, man.
Oh man, like I don't care what you're doing. If you're flipping the channels and like either one of those, or the 5 Heartbeats, or I'm David Ruffin, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're gonna stop. You're gonna stop and watch it.
It's I don't know which one is my favorite out of all 3 of those, but I mean, Black making music, man, and just like the rise and fall story, all those 3, 5 Heartbeats, Temptations, and the Jackson 5 American Dream, you know, they're perfect. So, you know, top 5.
Yeah, those are solid picks. Those are some solid picks. I like that.
Man, legends. I mean, legends, legendary. So I'm gonna go ahead and rattle off all mine because I can pretty much explain them together and what they meant to me and why I feel like they should be my honorable mention. So first and foremost, Harlem Nights, great movie. They put together an outstanding cast of comedians in that movie.
Sunshine.
Yeah, hey, that's the iconic line. That thing's so right. You throw it in the air, it turns to sunshine, boy. And I said to myself, I don't never want no PUSSY like that ever. I ain't trying to be addicted.
He got on the phone and said, "Baby, I'm never coming home."
Never. And I was like, I don't want none. So miss me with that one, Larry. I don't want none of that. Next on my list, y'all gonna laugh at me for this one, but it was silly, but it told the silly story in a way that I related to, and it was funny. I'm gonna Get You, Sucker. I mean,
talking about the spoof movie, right? Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I'm in it. I love it. It was funny to me. And then
the Wayans definitely need their respect.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, definitely. I was kind of torn, but I'm gonna go this way. Color Purple, Bear Theater, he beat me to it, but definitely Color Purple. But then in the same vein, I can't really say that it's a movie. More so,
nothing you're gonna do will succeed. Everything you do will fail until you do right by me.
You got it, man. How could that not even be in it? It's got to be in it. It's got to be in it. It's got to be in it.
Man, you guys have some gems on your list.
Hey, man. Now, what about this one though? This one's not per se a movie. It's event watching, but it's more of a series. And Larry, you should know when I say it's more of a series, I'm talking about Alex Haley and Roots.
Yeah.
Groundbreaking.
Yeah.
It really opened my eyes up to slavery because they didn't teach you that stuff in school. They glossed over slavery like it really wasn't even that difficult.
Bro.
Alex
Haley. My name's Kunta.
Oh my God.
My name's Kunta.
Like, I'm still to this day amazed that Alex Haley could get that story out during that era because it was so graphic. It told a story so in your face. So it opened my eyes to we're not really getting the true history of how slavery was. And that was event watching for me and my whole family. And I can't say that a lot. So that
I remember when it was on when I was a kid, when it first came on. I remember that where it was, normally it was like, oh, you have to go to bed by a certain time. It wasn't a matter of, oh, you need to go to bed. It was like, oh no, you are not going to bed. Right. You have to stay up and watch. This is required viewing, and it was good. It was great.
Yep. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is our list. We might have to come back in a week or two and do the top 5 African American TV shows. If we can do that, we might have to come back and do that. I've been watching one of them.
3 right here.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll have to do it. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to the very last component of our show. We got to talk about Marvel. Me and Larry been following this story all week long.
Bad news today, man. Bad news.
What's the bad news?
Yeah, what's the bad news?
Disney pushed back they took their whole schedule off the board, man. They pushed back what is it?
Moulin Rouge.
Mulan. They put I think they said Black Widows got pushed back.
Yeah.
There was another one that they were putting out. They said I think the Star Wars one's pushed back indefinitely. They don't even have there's like a whole bunch of them. They don't even have dates for them anymore. They just said we're just taking them off the board for now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, what we're about to take a look at ain't took off the board. They released a Comic-Con trailer for it. Like I said, me and Larry been following this story all week long. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about the New Mutants. We get to see the first few minutes of it, and then we're going to talk about, are they really going to drop it on Disney Plus? Because it looks like they are.
There's an old Native American proverb that says, inside every person, there are 2 bears, forever locked in combat for your soul. One bear is all things good, compassion, love, trust. The other is all things evil, fear, shame, and self-destruction.
What's happening? We have to run as fast as we can!
Wait!
Don't let go of my hand!
What's happening?
Here, hide here. Have to go help them.
No, Dad, please. Danny. Please don't leave me alone.
Danny, I have to go back. Stay here.
Oh, damn.
All of you have killed someone. If you weren't here, you'd be in prison. Or worse. And you mutants are dangerous.
We know.
this place takes your greatest fear and makes you live through it.
Ooh, scary.
What are you doing?
Gotta get better someday.
Demon bear! Let's play a game. New mutants are dangerous. And they need to learn how to control your powers.
Oh, you can forget that.
Welcome back, everyone. Happy Comic-Con week. They just dropped the opening scene, the full opening scene from Marvel's New Mutants. They had a big Comic-Con panel, so I'll explain what's going on. There's a bunch of Easter eggs. They even made some jokes, as you can see, about the release date. It's good that they can actually make fun of themselves.
Man, look, I wasn't excited for New Mutant, but if that's just the first 2 minutes, man, sign me up for that bitch. Quick. You got to get me in there to see that. Man, that thing looked like it is pure fire. That's going to be a good movie. I do not see how that can be ruined just based off the first 2 minutes. I'm excited.
It looks like it's going to be good, but here's the problem, man. I'm about one more delay from not caring. I'm just like, I'm about one more delay away from I'm going to be like, I don't really care. They're never going to drop this movie. I mean, it should have been out 2 years ago. At this point, I'm sort of hoping that the Chinese or Russian hackers go and do like they did with Sony and bring it out. You know, I think that was the Korean hackers that went and hacked their stuff and then dropped all those movies on BitTorrent. I mean, at some point, I hope something forces Disney to put this movie out, because I mean, what's going to happen if they wait to drop it in the theaters and then it tanks because you only get like 25% capacity? What's the point?
Right.
You know?
So you still on the island with me that somehow, some way they might drop it on Disney Plus.
Yeah, they need to drop it on Disney Plus. You know? They should do a whole. What they should have done is had a whole summer series lined up that would just rack up people on Disney Plus. If they would have had a whole summer series on Disney Plus where they start off with like New Mutants, or they could have started off with Hamilton and then New Mutants, and then maybe dropped what's her name, Black Widow, and then put something in between there, and then finished it off with Mulan. Man, they would have had so many new subscribers that would have been there and just ready to keep on going with Disney for the foreseeable future. But no, they want to dick around and stuff there talking about we're gonna postpone stuff indefinitely. We don't know when it's coming out. Man, get out of here with that. Somebody's gonna get it. Somebody's gonna get the release. Somebody's gonna be able to get this this new business model down. And I don't know who it's gonna be, but someone's gonna get it right.
I gotta figure it out.
Avery, what you think?
Myself, I'm gonna be honest with you. Ever since this movie was first announced and they started putting out all the promotion material years ago, I had absolutely zero interest in this movie. I did not care. They could have just threw it down the toilet. I would not have lost a millisecond of sleep. I had zero interest. I'm like, this is not part of the MCU. You know, majority of 20th Century Fox films just suck ass. It just like I would get upset when the trailer would come on. It's like, oh, change the channel. God damn, I don't, But
wait, how do you really feel?
Yes. However, kind of like you, Lamont, after seeing this first 2 minutes, and then the new trailer, I actually said to myself, wow, that actually looks pretty good. You know what I'm saying? They could turn this around and it could be pretty decent, because I was not looking forward to the Dark Phoenix movie that they put out, and I actually enjoyed that one. You know, I thought I enjoyed it. I thought X-Men Apocalypse was a bag of crap, like actually 3 bags of crap. But you know, the Phoenix, Dark Phoenix, I actually enjoyed that one. So I was like, hey, that surprised me. Maybe this one can surprise me too. And especially with you know, Marvel Disney taking it over, you know, under Kevin Feige, I'm pretty sure that he was able to change a few things as far as the editing and the story, and you know, things like how, you know, hey, let's do this here, let's do that there. So I have faith in him as far as it becoming better than it previously was. But this is 1,000% going to go on Disney Plus. This is no way in hell going to be released in theaters. That just doesn't make any sense at all. I think they just, and I think it's a smart, you know, thing they did with trying to get the, you know, the audience, you know, excited, like, oh, this is going to be the first movie back in theaters, you know, da 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 da. But they know that we're not going to be able to see that in like a month from now. That it just doesn't make any sense. So, I know y'all talking about the leak that came out. I don't know if you was going to touch on that, but yeah, I think September 4th, it's going to be released. They have no choice, because like myself, other people are complaining that Disney Plus, and like you were just saying, Larry, there's really just no content right now. You know, ever since their launch with The Mandalorian, there hasn't been anything after that. I mean, a few things here and there, like Hamilton, like you said, but you know, nothing to where you're just like, oh, I gotta have my Disney Plus. So they got to start releasing something.
Right.
And you know, I'm not on the fence. I mean, I don't think that they're gonna do Black Widow yet on Disney Plus. They may, but I am for darn certain that this is going on Disney Plus. Like, this is not a doubt in my mind, and I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that.
They have to, because they already talking about pushing Black Widow back to next year, and they are not trying to release Black Widow on Disney Plus. And
here's the problem, though, man. They keep on talking about pushing things back. It's like they don't get the fact that people are not going back to the theaters anytime soon. Not to mention, by the time next year comes around, when people are trying to go back to the theaters,
second wave,
theaters are going to be closed. AMC is going to have closed down probably half their theaters by the end of this year, when they can't open back up, because like they start opening stuff back up in Florida and California, and we saw how that turned out. They're closing everything back there. California's about to go into a straight statewide lockdown again. You know, I mean, they're going to end up where half the doggone theaters, AMC in the U.S. get closed, because they're just not going to have the bodies in there, and they're going to run out of cash eventually. I mean, their stock price is down to like $4. I mean, it's only a matter of time. I mean, what AMC should do is go work out some deal with, I don't know, they need to go work out some deal with Walmart, or they need to go buy some open field somewhere and go sit and start opening up drive-in theaters. They need to do something quick, fast, in a hurry, because this whole idea of bringing, you know, hundreds of people into a single room to watch a movie, that whole business model is dead for the foreseeable future.
Right on. One thing that I think, like, I don't think any of us wants, I mean, we all want to see the movie, especially Black Widow, and we would prefer to see it in the theaters the way it was designed. And of course, we wanted to make money because we're fans and stuff like that. If they do release Black Widow on Disney Plus, I think it may be an option. It's not ideal, but you got to just, you know, go with the cards you're dealt. Is not only on top of the subscription that you're paying each month, there'll be like a surcharge, you know, to watch Black Widow as well at home. And I don't know if it should be $10, $20, or $25. I mean, you know, y'all may think that's a bad idea, but just for Marvel Disney to recoup some funds, because they're going to lose so much. And initially I would be, you know, against that, because I'm like, well, people are just going to have house parties, you know, 10 or 15 people over, you know, and pay one fee. But with this virus thing, a lot of people may not be want to do that.
No.
You know, so, you know, you could make, you know, of course, you're not going to make nearly as much as you would, you know, in the theater, but you know, just releasing it on Disney Plus, you're literally losing, you're literally throwing hundreds of millions of dollars down the, you know, down the drain, down the toilet. So
no, if they did a business model where they said something like, okay, we're gonna have a series, we're gonna have a tiered service where they have Disney Elite, right? And so right now the Disney Plus service, I think, is like $6.99 a month or something like that. So if they did something where they said we're gonna do Disney Elite and we're gonna charge $19.99 a month, $20, and with that $20, you're gonna get to see the first run movies when Black Widow comes out, New Mutants, Mulan, whatever. It's dropping on Disney Elite. And you can watch it there. And then, after, I don't know, 2-3 weeks or whatever it is, they move it over to regular Disney Plus. And there's going to be a lot of people that would be like, yeah, cool, I'll pay that. I'll pay $20 for that. I'd pay $20 for that.
Yeah, I would. It's some people that pay 35,
Yeah, or you could do like Brandon said. You could keep your regular Disney Plus subscription and you pay $12 or something like that. I think if you get too much higher than $12 or $15, you're going to price yourself out the marketplace. But you charge $12 to get the rights to keep the movie at your house for like a week or something, and then do it like that. I mean, people are complaining right now. I'm in all these groups, and they're complaining that they don't feel like they're getting a lot of value from their Disney Plus service right now as it speaks. If you could do something where you drop one of these movies for like, somewhere in the range of $10, or you do Larry's plan where you do a higher tier service, or you do B. Avery's plan where you go $10, $15 to have the movie for a week, that could be something to really pump some energy into Disney Plus. And for me and Larry on the back end, help out that damn stock that's been falling. Help it out, man. Shoot.
And to add on to something that, I mean, like, if it were to work if I was Disney trying to make these decisions, we would have to like update like the login requirements to where if you do get the movie, you can't like share your passwords or something. It can only be at one or two devices or something, because you know what people are gonna do. I'm just putting myself in their shoes or whatever, so people are not passing passwords around. It has to make some type of business sense,
Oh no, we with you on that. We definitely with you on that, because the thing for us is we don't want the magic and the mayhem to be lost.
Exactly.
Because no one, like Larry said, because people can't get their acts together and wear a mask, ain't nobody going to no movie theater no time soon, except for people that want to get sick.
Right.
And I don't think any of us want to get sick. As much as we want to see the movie, we don't want to get sick. And having said that, we haven't even hit the second wave yet. This is still the first wave. We're not near a vaccine. So if Disney wants to keep up the what's a good way to word this? If they want to keep the hype machine going, they need to release some movies and find a way to do it that can at least recruit some of the money back for them, because they've also pushed back some of the popular TV shows they're supposed to be doing. The Falcon and Winter Soldier. Yeah, man, they done pushed that back. WandaVision, they done pushed that back.
Yeah.
Help us out
here. They should just go ahead and start releasing these things. They should stagger them, release them, and make sure they just really are pushing it out there and say, hey, if you want all the newest stuff right now, sign up for Disney Plus. And go ahead and just really push it out there so everybody wants to flood over to Disney Plus and get their Disney Plus subscription. And you might have to just go ahead and eat some of that and just say these are going to have to be loss leaders. They're going to have to do it like Amazon does sometimes. You'll just figure, hey, our goal is to get as many people signed up and on the service as we can. And if we can get them there, we'll do what we can to keep them there, because they need something right now. I mean, they can't even really go into production for a lot of the movies that they're ready to go in production with. Their theme parks, half of them are shut down. They're about to shut down, California and Florida again. I mean,
and on top of that, releasing stuff, it boggles my mind why they haven't fast tracked to release What If yet on Disney Plus, because that's animated, and people don't need to be around each other to do voice acting. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they have their plans, but I'm just thinking like that's just a no-brainer to me. But we'll just have to wait and see.
I just think it's irresponsible to try and force people back into theaters. Like when I was listening to what's his name with Tenet, and he was up there talking about I'm not releasing it on streaming. You're gonna have to go to the theaters if you want to see this movie. I'm thinking to myself, that is just wholly wholly irresponsible. That just tells me you don't give a crap about the fans of your movies. All you want to do is make money.
Yeah.
You know, because you should not be pushing anybody to go to a doggone, closed room with a whole bunch of people. And the idea that people are supposed to wear masks when the movie theater, it's a joke. How you gonna eat popcorn with a mask? How you gonna drink your soda, your Slurpee? How you gonna do any of that with a mask on?
Yeah. It's sad, man. I don't mean to be Debbie Downer, but I'm thinking like the earliest is March of next year, maybe. When winter's over, that will. I don't know.
I think that might be too early, to be honest with you.
Really?
The way people acting. Yeah, man. I think that might be too early. Mm-hmm.
I only reason I said it is because hopefully, we will be under a different administration, but we'll just have to see.
True. And hopefully some of that leadership from the top, it will start to trickle down where people will say, okay, we really do need to wear our mask and do it. But the problem is right now we have so much of this anti-masker, sentiment going on that's really just embedded inside the right wing of this, of this country. It's just like these people just refuse. I mean, I don't even know if it's just right wing. It's just like today we went for a walk. My wife and I went for a walk, and they were playing baseball. The kids out there, they had the whole, summer baseball league going with the high school age kids. All the parents were out there watching. I didn't see a single mask. Not one.
It's frustrating.
Not one.
For sure.
I mean, when I see that, and when I'm walking down the street and there's people out there and no one's wearing a mask, it's like we're not getting through this anytime soon. Not anytime soon. I mean, I fully expect. I hear people that are optimistic saying, "Oh, I think we'll have a vaccine maybe this time next year." Honestly, I don't think we are going to be out of this until maybe mid next year. Maybe we're going to be in a full year of this moving forward. Like from today, we might be all the way through it, maybe in like June or something.
Yeah, if people
because I just see the way people are. They're not even trying. They're out there. They've just given up. And
what I'm kind of hoping is like, I know y'all are paying attention to the news, but globally, all these other countries are getting a control over the virus and able to go back to some type of normal way of life. I'm hoping that will kind of motivate and incentivize these anti-mask wearers. Like, okay, they're acting right. They're back to a normal society. If we do the same thing, we can get back to normal too. But I don't know.
They won't, because all those dummies, they run around talking about, we're not going to do the stuff that those socialist nations do in Europe. We're not going to do the things that those communists. We're America. We're America.
We're America. We got American exceptionalism and all this crap, and then they don't ever want to listen to the good data that comes from these other places because we're supposed to be the biggest and the best.
Right.
I mean, just because they are communist or socialist does not mean that they don't have things that can be done and done well.
Right.
Doesn't
mean you can't.
Sometimes good ideas come out of bad places.
Right. Exactly.
Or sometimes good ideas come from bad people, and you just have to take those good those good parts and say, okay, well, we can implement them in a good way. And but if we can't get stuff under control, we're not going to be in the movie theaters anytime soon. I have no intentions on going back to the movies. I probably won't go back to the movies for, I don't know when. It's going to be probably a year after. If they open the movies up in May, I wouldn't be there until the following May. I'll just have to wait. I'll just have to wait and catch it on, I'll just have to wait and catch it on VOD or catch a bootleg or something if I'm that desperate. But I'm not going back to the theaters.
Well, ladies
I'm
and gentlemen,
not risking my life for Tenet or for Black Widow.
Hey, Black Widow is worth it.
She's not worth my life. She's not worth it.
That redhead is worth it.
Is she worth making Baby L a widow, orphan?
Hell no.
Oh, see, got a little perspective on that.
Hell,
it's not just your life anymore.
Ain't worth all that. That Baby L needs a guiding light in her life called Daddy Mott.
Already.
See? Yeah, man.
You won't be in the theaters either.
No, I ain't going. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we got for you. We're going to end this one. If you want to get good ideas from good people, all you got to do is subscribe to B. Avery's channel, Just My Opinions, and Larry's channel. Both links are in the video description. B. Avery, we're going to give you the last word as we get out of here. Tell the people anything you want them to hear as you get out of here till we bring you back.
Well, first, I just want to thank you, Lamont and Larry, for having me on again, guys. I had a ton of fun. I have a lot in development, so follow me on Instagram and Twitter, Just My Opinion 84, and subscribe to the YouTube, Just My Opinion Reviews. And just always leave your recommendations, guys. You can DM me if you want to. I'm just a regular guy, and wear your mask so we can get back to the theaters, man. Just wear your mask, social distance, just buckle down just for a little bit so we're not in this for another 5 years, man. I missed the movie. So
yeah, and for those of you who don't realize, the Spanish flu lasted in this country for 3 years.
3
years. And then they had a whole lot of anti-mask sentiment back then too. You had a bunch of people that were on the right screaming about they were infringing upon people's rights, and it lasted for 3 years.
Listen to Larry. Larry knows what he's talking about. What they say: if you don't know history, you're doomed to repeat it. So we don't want that.
Yep. So, ladies and gentlemen, wear your mask. Be safe. We'll all be back up here on Monday, and remember, our special guest on Monday is Sharonda from Pale Weight, and she's gonna have a hot take. So until that next sexy as hell live stream video, we'll see you.
Peace.
Peace. That's a good one.